Hey Edgar, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Ram Concrete in Riverside, California. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get more jobs by getting a website of your very own in front of people who are searching Google for concrete services in the Riverside area. Like I said on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. I am trying to give you this information so that you can use it however you'd like. If you'd like to do these things on your own, that's fine. I hope to give you enough information here that you can go and do it. But I do know that things, when you're a business owner, you get to be pretty busy. And so that's where me and my team might be able to help you, just saving that time and getting these things done right by the experts. So, but here you go. This is how you can get Ram Concrete in front of the people in Riverside that are looking for concrete concrete services, actively using Google as a search engine. So here we go. You don't have a website, obviously, but unless, of course, I just forgot that you said you do. But anyways, I believe this is it for you guys' really online presence and your listing on Home Advisor as well. You may be listed on Yelp, I'm not sure. But this is really good for the people who know of you, maybe word of mouth, right? Somebody that they know has enjoyed your services. This is great for that, but what it doesn't do is help really get you in front of new people who are searching online going, I know that I want this concrete service, but I don't know who's going to provide it for me yet. So this is kind of fun. If I go over, this is a keyword research tool that I have, Ahrefs Keyword Explorer. And what it does is I've put in concrete and Riverside as my two words, and I clicked this matching terms button, meaning that it's going to show me a list of key phrases that people are actually typing into Google every single month when they're looking for your services. So for instance, Riverside Concrete, it's getting searched about 100 times every month, and its KD is 0, meaning that the competition to show up for that word on the first page of Google is way below average, which means it's going to be a lot easier to do that. So taking advantage of this volume, getting in front of those people that are actually looking for concrete in the Riverside area is actually going to be not too difficult a task. And then there's another 80 people searching for the same stuff, but they're typing it in a little bit differently here with Concrete Contractors, Riverside, California. So you can see how this kind of starts stacking up, and there's a lot of people who are looking for concrete in the Riverside area. And very low competition to be shown there. So what is the goal with this? It's to get onto this page. So I've typed in Riverside Concrete, and the first thing that we see is the map pack. Sometimes there's some ads up here, but right now they're not showing up. So this is the map pack, and basically what you want to do in order to show up here, which is good because quite a bit of the traffic that comes to this page will click on something right around here. And what you want to do is make sure that your Google My Business listing is up to date and accurate. Specifically, your name, address, and phone number should be spelled perfectly, because then you're going to take that information and list it on different directories online like Yelp, Yext, CityStar, etc. And what you want to do is make a lot of these citations, is what they're called when you put your information on a directory. And what that's going to do is show Google that you really do service that area, that you are popular, you're being talked about, you're legitimate, and that's going to help to increase your credibility, basically trustworthiness with Google, and that's going to help you get shown up here. But there's also another way to get onto the first page of Google, the more traditional way, and a very lucrative way indeed. So if you end up down here, this is what's called the organic search results, and it actually gets a bulk of the amount of people that come to here. So if 100 people are typing this in and coming to this page, about 30% are going to be clicking on this link, about 20% clicking on this one here. So This one here up here is Yelp, so I'm not going to compare you to them. That's a directory, so it's not quite the same, but I can compare you to these guys right here. This is one of your local competitors. I'm not sure if you recognize them or not, but if we go to their page, we can look at their page and think, what is it that they're doing right? Why is it that they're showing up on the first page of Google for this keyword that we want to show up for? So first, how's their content? How many words do they have on their page? Do they talk about what they do, where they do it, etc.? A little bit, but not a whole lot, to be honest. And then there's kind of a cool trick. If I right click on an image and I click Save Image As, I can see this, their logo is saved as logo-SPM. So that's nice. That's probably helpful for the person making the website, but it's not helpful for Google to know how to show your site, right? It doesn't help tell Google what you do. So I would say, save all the images as those phrases that people are typing into Google. It's another indicator that you're the one that should show up in these results here if you've got it saved, if you've got those words in your content as well as as your images, what they're saved as. And then I can also use this tool Ahrefs. Another feature of it is Site Explorer. And so what this does is it gives me an in-depth look into how a website's performing. And this one here, superiorrm.com/Riverside County Concrete Services, that's these guys. And they're not doing too great, to be honest. Their UR score is pretty low. Their DR score is fine, but what these are is basically how trustworthy Google sees their page as and then their whole website as. And there's definitely an imbalance here. They're not putting a lot of effort into this page ranking, even though it is. They're not doing that much to actually have it show up there, which is another, it's sort of backs up that fact that earlier we looked at the numbers here. We had these really low scores that show low competition. And that just backs up that fact right there. So basically what you'd want to do is go through and check out the competition for all of these different words. And see what the competition is doing, and then just do a bit better than them at the content, the backlinks, and the referring domains. And I don't think I actually really went into backlinks and referring domains, so I'm going to show you. So right here, and I'll actually do it like this. This is just for this one page, but if I do this, it'll be for their whole site. So just let it refresh real fast. Okay, so this is for their entire website, which we don't have to beat out, by the way, but this is just to show you real numbers instead of no data. They didn't have any backlinks and referring domains going to that page, but right here, basically what a backlink is any time that there's a link on another website that goes back to your website, that's a backlink. And any site that has at least one of those links on it that goes to your site, that's what's called a referring domain. Those are much more important than the backlinks. The amount of referring domains, and then the quality of them as well. So if I click on this, I can see their DR scores, which again, this is how trusted Google thinks this website is. And so there are a lot with a 0 trust score, which is not uncommon, but it's not good. You definitely want to go after more like this higher 33, 73 is a good one. And then also it's even better if they're relevant to your industry in some way. Like if this website is about, like this one says concrete in the name, that's probably good because that has to do with concrete. Heartland IO though, I'm not sure if that's relevant in some way. Maybe it's a business that's another business in that local area. In that case, that would be relevant. So you want backlinks and referring domains that are from websites that have high DR scores and that are relevant in some way to the industry. So here I am, that's my smiling face right there. And here's how you can get a hold of me if you'd like to do so. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to your feedback, Edgar, on how I did on this, if I was helpful, if I needed to explain something a little bit better, or if I went into too much detail about something, let me know. Anything that you have to say, I would appreciate the feedback. So thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.